Hi, my name is Michael Morin. I'm a writer. I also work in live music, and this is my negative voice. So let's start this thing. First off, I realized just thinking about doing this, uh, fuck, do I have a negative voice? It has crept up just within the time it took me from getting to know that I was doing this into doing it. So let's just start. Yes or no? Do you have a negative voice? 100%. 100% I have a negative voice. Yeah, I don't think many people don't. Let's see, second question. In what area of your life does your negative voice speak up the most? Honestly, as an adult, now my negative voice speaks up the most in my career and my dreams and goals. But I know when I was younger, my negative voice spoke to me in social such situations, in my relationships, pretty much every aspect of my life. In its truest essence, what is your negative voice saying? Well, in its truest essence, for the most part, I guess like everyone, it's saying I'm not good enough. But to be a little more specific, um, it's telling me that I'm incapable of achieving the things that I want. And, maybe it's also saying that I don't deserve them at the root of it. Whether it's, selling something I wrote, or getting a raise at work, or having a friend call me back, as simple as that, or wanting to spend time with me. Okay, so that pretty much sums up what it's saying. I mean, it can say anything, really. It can be the nastiest of people. Like everything that your mind can think of that you don't want to hear, that you would never say to your worst enemy. That's what my negative voice says to me. How do I feel, and how do I behave when I listen to and accept my negative voice? Oh, um, basically, behave in a way that makes everything my negative voice is saying true. Um, Everything my negative voice tells me becomes truth and reality, and therefore, when I listen to it, I do all the things that it tells me that I am doing. Oh, God. I didn't realize how challenging this was. I don't believe in myself when I listen to my negative voice. Um, I don't feel good about myself, which then leads me to making decisions and my actions that are against everything I want. I guess that's the simplest answer. Okay, moving forward. Have you discovered any tricks to overcome your negative voice, and if so, what? Well, I think acknowledging that you have a negative voice is the first step in understanding that it's never true, and that you're going to be your biggest enemy. And once you can recognize that, you get to be better at taking a second and recognizing that maybe my thoughts are just that, thoughts, and they're not the reality of a situation, or they're not truths. And um, taking a second to really, sometimes taking a second to think about something can magnify your negative voice, but sometimes if you are in the right mindset, if you take a second, take pause, um, I think you can really defeat your negative voice. As long as you're aware that it's not real, it's not there, it's just fear. That's it. It's just your fears. If your fears had a voice, your negative voice is the manifestation of that. And remembering that is the one trick I have. And sometimes it takes me a while to remember that. Sometimes it's not right away. It could be days, months, weeks, years. But luckily, I guess, with time and age and experience, um, you start to get quicker. You learn to cut it off at the pass. Okay, so that's all my tricks. Now, okay, why did I choose to share my negative voice? Well, um, like any human interaction and any shared experience, I think brings us closer together. And also, I think we learn from it, and it allows us to know that we're not alone. I guess knowing that other people have a negative voice, just as loud as yours, is another tool to defeating and taking the power away from your negative voice. The more of us that have it, the more we can realize it's bullshit. And so sharing my negative voice is a way for me to hopefully have someone connect in some way, whether it's a friend, stranger, coworker, partner. Um, I find that anytime you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you allow yourself to get closer to the people, places, and things you want. So we'll do the alternate here. Question 6. How do I feel when someone chooses to share their negative voice with me? I feel closer to them. I feel like they're giving me an insight into deep down who they are. Even if their negative voice isn't true and isn't saying things that are real, it still brings me closer to them. Have a deeper understanding of who they are and what scares them. And I don't know. It's just like sharing a sad song. I feel closer to the artists that I don't know by listening to their sad lyrics. And it makes me feel better inside. So I think it's important for us to share our life experiences in a way that's honest, true, and open, even if that means being as vulnerable as you possibly can, including sharing your fear and your negative voice. I hope that's enough info. This is Michael Morin, and this is my negative voice.